Hello, my name is Max. I thought today I'd do a reading on the missing scientists. Um, so you may have heard, right? I know I'm a little late, right? I've taken a month off, and so this is like really old news, and probably not even relevant anymore. But in any case, I thought I'd do a reading on it. So there's a group of scientists, like about 12. They're all kind of either there's Air Force generals, there's security workers at Air Force bases. There's scientists involved in NASA and jet propulsion laboratories. Scientists involved in the study of um, outer planets and life on other planets, and also scientists involved in alternative energy and anti-gravity, things like that. And there's like 12 scientists or people affiliated with either the Air Force or NASA or jet propulsion laboratories, or otherwise affiliated with the U.S. space program, or the Air Force, or science in regards to UAP technology or UFO technology or alien technology. Um, so there's like 12 scientists, um, and they're either missing or they're dead. And so there's various stories, different stories for each one of them. Are they connected? Is this connected? Is there a group killing them? Is there a group that has targeted them, that is hunting them down? Are there more to come? Or is it something else? Is it nothing? Are they just blowing out of proportion? Um, is it some sort of media prank or media plot? We've seen those before, media pranks, um, where they talk about something that's real, they think is real, or they pretend that it's real, and they tell you it's real and it's not real. You might have seen that before. But But in any case, I thought let's take a look. I want to do like a 10 card Celtic cross. We're going to take a look at this situation. These missing or dead scientists, have they been killed by some sort of secretive organization, or some people say the Russians, some people say the North Koreans, some people North Korea. They're very scary. They're very, very scary. They're like this tiny little country with the population of Michigan. 7,000 miles away. But they're very, very dangerous. So watch out for the North Koreans. So Russians, North Koreans, Chinese. So people don't know who they are, but they think they may be affiliated with these rogue nations that threaten us. Um, or some people believe it could be even an alien government, and or like an extraterrestrial government or UAP. Um, Infiltration or infestation, or um, so we don't know, like, right, it's all a mystery. But is it real? Let's see. So I'm going to do a 10 card Celtic cross, and we're going to find out about these mysterious deaths. So some of them have been involved. As you know, there's a girl that was involved in research of anti-gravity. There's a missing Air Force general. There's a missing security guy for NASA, or the U.S. Air Force, an Air Force secretive Air Force base, and there's 12 of them. It's quite a lot. And actually, oddly enough, there's a guy from MIT that studies like plasma technology, and he was killed in the Rhode Island shootings, the Brown University shootings. That actually is, to me, is even more interesting. Although right now he's lumped in with this group, because he's a scientist, and he's studying kind of fringe technology that could be related to defense programs and the space program and UAPs and UFOs and alien technology and things like that. But that guy, he's a Portuguese guy who was killed at Brown University earlier this year, I think, or was it last year? It was earlier this year, but just recently. So he was killed in that Brown University shooting, and that guy. It's just now occurring to me that guy. That's interesting. I think that's very interesting, and maybe I should do a separate reading on him, and that Portuguese MIT professor. I'm going to do a separate reading on him sometime, I think, because that is interesting to me. There's just something about it. Um, but in any case, let's see what's going on. I'm going to shuffle these cards, and we're going to see what's going on with these 12 missing or dead scientists. Have they been killed by some sort of secret assassination program, either from within the United States or from other countries, or even from governments outside the realm of Earth? So let's see. Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to do um, a 10 card Celtic Cross on the 12 scientists, that some of whom are missing, some of whom have been found dead. What's behind this? What's going on here? Is there some sort of cover up? Is there some sort of conspiracy? Is it a foreign government? Is it Russia, North Korea, or China, or some other rogue government? The Iranians, maybe, or is it related to something extraterrestrial? Are these related? Are these deaths related to the UAP program, or even alien beings infesting or secretly invading the United States? Let's take a look here. I think I've shuffled these sufficiently. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do a 10 card Celtic Cross in regards to the 12 dead scientists, missing scientists. Let's see. Okay, the first card. Gotta focus. Okay, we have the Page of Swords first. Okay, we have Queen of Cups reversed. Okay, Five of Pentacles upright. Okay, the Sun upright. Interesting. I have no idea where this is going to go, by the way. So. And looking at the cards so far, I still don't have a clue. So. The Knight of Swords reversed. Six of Swords upright. Okay, the King of Pentacles reversed. Okay, the Moon upright. Oh no, the Moon reversed. Okay, Ace of Pentacles reversed. Okay, Two of Wands reversed. Okay. Okay. So these are kind of rogue cards. I mean, honestly, like, I'm gonna have to work at this a little bit because it's not what I expected at all. I mean, I don't know what I expected, but I'm just like, I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually. Okay, so the first card is Page of Swords. So Page of Swords is spying. It's spying. It's also investigation. It's information. It's finding information. This is the center card. This is the card that covers. So So I see this as there's some sort of this is in regards to, so when I see this card, it's in regards to government, or it's related um, appendages. It's related organizations. So this is like the government, um, and it has to do with spying. So it has to do with like spy agencies, or agencies affiliated with the spy agencies, like the NSA or CIA or FBI or whatever other secret or spying organizations there are within the United States. So this is basically, this is a to me this indicates their involvement. So they're involved with this. Who's they? Like I said, the intelligence community within the United States. So there's other organizations other than the CIA, the FBI, the NSA. There's Homeland Security, and there's other agencies, and there's some agencies that are hidden within some of the agencies that we do know. So in any case, I'm not being specific, but what I'm saying here is that this card tells me that it's related to some sort of information campaign created by uh, intelligence agencies, so like the CIA or something, or the NSA. Okay, this indicates to me that they're involved in some way. Like the U.S. spy agencies are involved. Um, okay. So this is the crossing energy. This is the Queen of Cups reverse. So this is like a lack of vision, a lack of compassion. It's like it's like a lack of comfort. Basically, it's like It's about creating a neediness, creating like a sense of insecurity or neediness. So, and it's also kind of like about reducing clarity. So in the crowning position, we have the Five of Pentacles. So this to me, this kind of indicates. This would indicate to me fear. Um, this is like a card of like poverty, but to me it kind of indicates fear, or because it's like typically illustrated by two people that flee into a church. Okay, and so this may also indicate religious overtones. There's some sort of element of religious overtones here. Um, but this is about creating fear. Okay, that's part of what I see there. Um, okay, the 12 missing scientists. We're trying to figure out what's going on here. Okay, so the recent past, we have the sun. The sun is, first of all, it's the government. Um, this does indicate the government again, um, which is really interesting. It also indicates attention, fame, success, happiness. Um, this may have deeper meaning that I'm able to pick up on right now. Actually, I'm kind of getting a sense of there's something really significant about this card that I don't know that I can articulate or even pick up on in detail right now. But I'm just getting like a sense of like there's a lot to this card. Like there's a lot here. Okay, so this is a card of the country or the government or the people who control the government. It can be interpreted as the royals, if there was a royal, if we had royalty here, if we had a king and queen, it would refer to them. But of course, in the United States, we do not have that. But in any case, I'm getting like an ancient lineage that controls the government, that controls the country. And it's ancient and it's hidden, and they're kind of directing this in a way. They're kind of directing this. Um, so yeah, I get like, like so there's a lot to explain and unpack when you talk about a lineage. You're talking about a bloodline, but you're also talking about a race or an ethnicity. You're talking about a religion. You're talking about there's militaristic elements to it. So it's like everything that would come into play when you're talking about a country. So there's so much to it, right? So, but I just see like ethnicity, religion, and military. That's kind of what I get here. So it's like I get those things in very rich in a very rich quantities that like a lot of history, a lot of like I said, there's a religious aspects to it. There's like racial aspects to it, and there's I'm not saying white supremacy or something like that. That's not what I'm saying, but I do get this sense of and this isn't actually this is more than I expected. And I'm reading these cards one at a time right now, and I'm kind of wrestling with them because I'm gonna get there, but there's something. These cards want to say something deeper than what I was prepared to discuss. So please forgive me. but, but this is a very significant card. But I do get the sense, like I said, of this is in the recent past. This is a bloodline, an ethnicity of some sort, a religion, and there's military and control type elements to it. Like there's elements of violence and control here, and that's kind of what's at play here. This is kind of like the instigator. This card would be related very much to the Page of Swords that we see. So the Page of Swords, the Page of Swords is indicating, military intelligence or government spying or spy agencies. Okay, and of course, just as a review, the crossing energy was was this reversed? Yeah. This is the crossing energy, which is the Queen of Cups, which is this sense of lack of comfort, lack of a sense of neediness, a sense of like emotional poverty or coldness, a sense of fear, even a sense of like a lack of clarity. So I'm seeing like this is the crossing energy. So this is like what they're trying. This is what I'm getting here is this is what they're trying to nurture. They're trying to nurture this sense of fear or coldness or like a lack of comfort or like fear. So looking, and of course we see the religious overtones also with the Five of Pentacles. Since it does have the church and the people fleeing, we get the sense of poverty, but I don't get the sense of like material poverty. I get like a sense of spiritual poverty, emotional poverty, a sense of kind of like what the Queen of Cups reversed is indicating, like a sense of coldness, like a sense of like not being comfortable or not feeling safe. So I do get this sense of like, let's create fear is what I see here. I see let's create fear and let's prey on people's ignorance, like their lack of knowing things. So the card at the very bottom card here is this would be the deep past, the karmic past. So the Deep Past card is the Knight of Swords reversed. So this card is untruth. It is telling lies. This is a card of lying. This is a card of like doing the wrong thing. Like it's like injustice. It's villainy. It's being the bad guy, or this is a card of like telling untruths. Like this is a card of like information, quick information, and saying something that is not true. Okay, this is what this card is. This is saying something that isn't true. It's also, again, it's also in a way like working against the good. That's kind of what this card is. So upright, this card is like a hero. It's like a hero fighting for truth and justice. And when it's reversed, it's like we are trying to do something bad, and we're gonna lie a lot. So this is like lying. Okay, it's like basically just saying things that are not true. Like that's what this is. So in the near future, so how am I gonna? I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna link all this, or like what will be the synthesis of this reading. So this is the Six of Swords upright. This is the near future. So this is typically a good card. It means we're moving past something. We're moving past something towards something else. It's a sense of progression, maybe in time or even in geographically. This is a sense, this is like progression. It's like moving from one thing to another thing. It does kind of, it can indicate like an improvement in some way. So what does this mean though? In this context, what I'm trying to figure out what this means. So I just see this as kind of like we're advancing a plan or an agenda. There's a plan. That's kind of what I get here. So this is like a card of like moving. Like it could be moving, like this is like moving across a river or a lake or a body of water. It's like you're transporting people from one end to another. I don't know how literally to take that. Because you kind of get the idea of like refugees. You kind of, that's kind of like the idea you get. And when I see it in relation to these other cards, and maybe something else will come up as we continue on with the reading. Usually something comes up. But I'm just trying to figure out. So we have the sun, which I identified as the government, or the basis of the government. The people deeply in control, like the people deeply in control. They're not elected. These are the people the elected people fear. Okay, that would be the sun card in this case, in this reading. So this is like this deep, like I said, religious community based on, I get ethnicity, like I said, and I get military. And then we have, it's connected to the Queen of Cups reverse, which is coldness or neediness or confusion, lack of vision, lack of compassion, like a bitterness, bitter reality, or lack of comfort, like I said. So we have those two cards leading to this card, the Six of Swords, upright. So the bitterness comes from this this deeply entrenched group that controls the country. Okay, so this group, this secretive religious military group, is creating fear, basically fear or discomfort or lack of comfort, a lack of safety, a lack of comfort, lack of clarity, lack of vision. They're creating this sense of bleakness, some sort of bleakness or a dystopian reality. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Okay, and this dystopian reality that they're creating, this unfriendly, uncomfortable reality that they're creating through the Page of Swords, which is their intelligence operatives or the intelligence community. They are creating this. What is this? So it's a Six of Swords. So the swords also indicates information again. And I think maybe that's the key here, is that this Six of Swords represents information. And as information that gets people to flee. They're going somewhere. They're kind of they're instigating some sort of movement, whether that movement is a geographical actual movement of people or it's just a movement in their mind away from one subject to another subject. That's kind of what we're getting here. So the key, I think the key to this card right now is that it's information and it's movement. So information that creates movement. And we're tempted to think in terms of, refugees, right? But I don't think necessarily that's the case. I think it's meaning we're going to get you thinking about something so you'll start thinking about something else. Because if we get you thinking about something, you won't be thinking about something else, right? So it's about information that instigates action. That's what I'm getting here. Okay, so I think this is an interesting card, and we have to just kind of get to the archaic root of this card, the very ancient, primordial archetypal meaning of this card, and so we're getting information and movement. And like I said, not physical movement, but information to instigate action. Okay? That's tricky. Okay. So this card here this is the base card. This is the King of Pentacles reversed. So I'm getting the sense of secrets. Like this is to protect secrets. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting here, because this is a card of a king, and it's a card of like foundations and prosperity and secrets and the earth and wealth and I get the sense that it's like overturning foundations is what I'm getting here. And I get the sense of protecting secrets. Okay, so in the environment we have the moon reverse. So this is illusion. It's fear and illusion and toxicity. That's what this is. So this is fear and it's illusion. So it's it's lies. This very much plays into the Knight of Swords reversed. So I think they're using lies here to actually, like the previous card is secrets. They're trying to protect secrets. They're trying to keep something secret. So this is deep. This is really deep. And I'm not like kidding. Like, um, there's something coming out in this reading that is unexpected, and it's just surprising me, and it's what it's trying to convey. And I apologize because I'm not entirely ready for this. I'm not ready, but this is really about protecting secrets. How does this mean? What does this mean? How does this play into these missing scientists? There's 12 missing or dead scientists. What does this mean? We have this secretive organization related to religion and a military or something like that, a lineage that is also related to, it's a lineage, religion, military. It's there's a bloodline, there's a lineage that's related to a religion that has a military that is instigating a deception campaign to create fear and a sense of poverty and a sense of confusion, to create movement so it's information to instigate action. This action is to protect secrets. It's to protect secrets. King of Pentacles reversed. And it is disinformation, just like the Knight of Swords reversed. It's disinformation, it's disillusion, it's toxicity, it's confusion, it's fear. Okay, that's what this card is. This is the Moon reversed, fear and lies. I'm gonna have to pull some more cards for this. Okay, so the next card is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So this is in hopes, fears, and opportunities. So this is there's an opportunity here that we need to take. We don't want to miss this opportunity. We want to create this opportunity, and this opportunity for this organization or this group or this party, it's a real opportunity that needs to be, it needs to be acted upon, and they need to take action in order to create this opportunity. So this is related to some sort of opportunity that if they don't take action, this opportunity will not arise. So there's something to be gained from this by them. There's something to be gained through all this deception, or there's something they think they will gain, which is really interesting here. Okay, so the final card is a Two of Wands reversed. So this is like, it can mean lack of planning, and I think it does mean that, but it also means enemy planning. So it means planning against or planning to counter you, or whatever it is their enemy is, or whatever it is their opponent is perceived to be. So this is like enemy planning, enemy action, but it's also no action or lack of planning. Okay, so this is crazy. So what I'm getting here is there's a campaign. Okay, so there's a news campaign, right? We see it in social media, but this is all coordinated. This is instigated. So it's not so much played up in the mainstream press. It is a little bit, but it's really kind of gotten its momentum through the modern way, which is social media. I don't have Twitter, but I'm sure it's all over Twitter and probably all over Threads and Blue Sky and whatever. But we see it a little bit on YouTube, and so we see this information campaign that's planned. Okay, we see that with the Page of Swords upright in the center of the spread here. So this is information. This is like propaganda. It's basically information instigated by an intelligence agency to affect something. But this originates from an intelligence agency or an intelligence apparatus, related to the military, related to military intelligence, like spies and covert operations. And so this would be, there's a name for it. It's like informational. What is it called? Information warfare. Is that what it's called? Information warfare. Yeah. So, or no, it's called psychological warfare. Is what it's called. Psychological warfare. So this is what this is. This is basically a spy. The Page of Swords upright is basically a spy, like an actual spy, and that's what this is the center of the spread. This is this card is very, very important in indicating to us what is going on here. What is the origin of this? And of course, we've already discussed the Sun card, which indicates, as I said, I don't need to go over that. Okay, so on the one hand, we have an intelligence agency creating a story. So they've created this story, but the deaths are not planned. Okay? So the story is real. The story is they created the story. The story is real. Story is a story, right? The story is just words, right? But the reality behind the story, they did not create that. So so this is like no planning. They didn't plan that. They didn't plan the deaths. Okay, so that's what I'm getting here. But so the 12 people, it'd be interesting for me to go through one by one, just do a reading on each one of these people and see. But what I'm seeing here is the deaths and the disappearances are not related to this group. However, the story is related to this group. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of nuanced. So they want you to talk about this story. The Six of Swords, right? They want you to think about and talk about this story to get you to another stage. What that stage is, I don't know. I can do a reading on that. But they're using this story. They're creating a story, and now they're kind of weaponizing this story to progress their own story. So to have a progression of a story, you need to be told the first chapter to get to the second chapter, right? So that's kind of what this Six of Swords is. They're telling you the first chapter so you can get to the second chapter. As we as a people, we're gonna read this story, and this story is gonna sit in our minds, and we're gonna think about the story, and we're gonna get that Five of Pentacles feeling, and we're gonna get that funny feeling, like the Queen of Cups reversed, like discomfort, fear, lack of warmth, lack of compassion, a feeling of being in a barren wasteland or desolation or something. They're going to get us to the second chapter of the story. Why? To protect their secrets. Okay, King of Pentacles reversed. They're protecting their secrets. They're guarding their secrets. So they're telling you one story that is what? First of all, it's Knight of Swords reversed, not true. And Moon reversed, not true. Not true. It's a distraction, a deception. And they're doing that to protect their secrets. So they want you to get on this track, this story. They want you bought into this story. You know, one thing is like when you say, dude, if I told you you guys, I made this secret, super secret bicycle that can fly in the sky, and then now the now the government's after me, right? So if I tell you that, and I say, you guys, seriously, there's been a car outside my house, and like it's going after me, and they're after my bike, and then they stole my bike is gone, and the police won't help me. And if I told you this story, you think, wow, you know, at first I didn't believe you had a magic bike or this super bike that can fly, but now that you've told me that you've been stalked by these mysterious people, and they've been waiting outside and watching you with binoculars and spying on you, and the police refuse to help you, but now that you've said all that, I'm starting to believe maybe it is true, right? So in a way, so they're kind of telling you something, and you're like, okay, well, who cares? I don't believe it. Maybe I believe it. Maybe I don't. Who cares? But now I'm saying, dude, no. You know how that story you wouldn't believe? The story I told you about my flying bike? Well, dude, no. Now the police are here. There's secret agents here right now. Like, or that my bike is gone. They stole it. Or, like if I build up this story, now you're like, whoa, maybe this is real. So it's kind of like you're trying to create this story that just kind of slowly adds up, builds up weight, and all of a sudden it starts to feel real. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to make something feel real, and so maybe, what if there was no flying bike? The magical flying bike that I have, but there's creepy people like trying to steal my bike and watching me and trying to steal my research on my secret flying bike. If I tell you this long story about all these people, mysterious people that are after my bike, then you start to believe the bike is real, right? And how the police refuse to help me. They must be collaborating with the people that were watching me and spying on me. The bike must be real. I must be telling the truth. So they're trying to make something real that maybe isn't real. Okay, I know I didn't say that very well, but do you get what I'm saying? Like they're trying to make something that isn't real. You're trying to make it real for you, so you will think it's real, and then we can tell you more. Then we can go to chapter 3. So that's what's going on here. Okay, so what I'm getting here from this 10-card Celtic Cross is the information campaign is real. The deaths are real, but the deaths are not related to the people who created the information campaign. That's what I'm getting here. Okay, so these people were not killed or disappeared by a secret group. However, there is a secret group, and the secret group wants you to think that somebody is killing these people. They want you to know the story, although because they want you to believe what's all of it about, right? So what does that mean? If there's some sort of secret government agency, like a foreign government like Russia or North Korea or China or aliens, and they're trying to kill these scientists, right? If they're trying to silence these scientists, then what the scientists must be working on must be very, very important, right? Okay, that's my point. So they want you to. So what's implied in this story is what these scientists, all these people that have disappeared and have died, all these people have been working on something, right? They want you, and now those people who are using the story are saying, they're trying to imply that what they're working on is actually really important. That they're onto something. That something is real. It's real, dude. It's real, man. So that's what we're getting here. Okay, so the campaign is real. The deaths and disappearances are real. but the deaths and disappearances are not related to anything organized. Like there's no agency, whether it's our government or whether it's a foreign government or whether it's aliens and UAPs. No one did this. These are all individual cases. Okay? Did this spooky government kill these people? No. Or this spooky group, whoever these people are. Did they kill these people? No. But they created the story. Okay? They created the story. So it's a story to get you to the next chapter. To ultimately, for what? To distract you from their secrets. So it's to protect their secrets. So we're going to tell you something else so you can sniff all you want on this story and not see the things that are actually happening that may actually be much more important than you can imagine. So they're just distracted. It's a way. It's distraction. It's distraction, right? And it's lies and confusion and discomfort. And it's all to keep you distracted so you don't know their secrets. So I hope I think I've kind of said that enough. I think we're getting it now. Okay? So that's it, guys. So the deaths are real, the disappearances are real. No government, whether foreign or domestic or alien, has caused these deaths. But there is a group, a very secretive group, that wants you to think that these deaths were caused by someone who was very afraid of what they were researching. So they want to make it look like these people were really involved in something really, really serious. And it's so serious that they're actually risking their lives. And so the story was created by these people. But it's a story only. It's only information. It's only words. No one has actually, while the people are dead or missing, they were not killed or disappeared by any organized faction. Okay? Thank you guys. Appreciate it. That was tough, man. Holy crap. That was really tough. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too heavy. But thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Everyone be good. Be safe. And meditate if you can do that. Meditate. That's really good for you. And don't watch the news too much because it's bad for you. And make sure to go by a lake, go by a river or a lake or an ocean and enjoy nature and try to get some physical exercise because it's really good for you. And don't sit in front of the computer too much because it's bad for you. Okay? And I will see you guys again very, very soon. Okay? So take care. Bye-bye.